Hello, everyone. El here, and we are back with Hunter x Hunter Volume 9. And your new is going crazy. We got the first part, I guess, of Kurapika versus Uvogin, which I recall correctly is like basically Kurapika's biggest fight and slash only big fight of the series. I mean, I'm probably forgetting something big or something later on, but I mean, Tropico versus Uvogin definitely, definitely up there. Um, yeah, we start off plot twist. The Phantom trope didn't steal, everything in uh the safe for the auction. It was empty. The guys relocated the items, and that leads, some of basically it leads Uvogin to suspect that there was a traitor among us. Whoa, or they say Judas. Um, um, Apparently Krilla doesn't think Judas was a traitor. Um, which is an interesting take. Uh, he's like the most famous traitor ever, Um, Piccolo doesn't suspect that there's a traitor. Because it's like, who, think about like what the traitor has to gain from riding them out to the mafia. Like money, fame, success, or status. Would that gratify a Phantom Troop member? Probably not. Um, so they don't suspect, or well, a girl doesn't suspect it's a traitor. And also, because like if they did know that Phantom Trope was coming, they would have had tighter security around every player. And well, later on, they found out that Curlo was right because they were acting according to Neon's fortunes, which are vaguer. So it's probably that's why they didn't have tighter security because the fortunes are vague. Um, yeah, that's good. And yeah, the it's basically the mafia guys. They have like 10 uh strong Nen users. They're called the Shadow Beast. Um, so these are like the guys that are have actually have a chance against Phantom Trope members. Otherwise, it's just like non-Nen users with weapons, and that's not gonna work. uh, yeah. Now we have a showdown between the Phantom Trope and the Shadow Beast, which is really more of a showdown between Uvogin and the Shadow Beast, as he uh takes him on. Oh, at first it's just like five. One, two, three. Yeah, like five. I think like five, six. Well, maybe four. Well, it's whatever. He takes on the first um group. Oh, there's a chapter like will make well. I mean, actually no, it's a cover page that talks about Franklin's ability. The guy who like shoots from his fingertips. Well, his fingers like open up, and then he emits nen bullets. In which it's noted that he didn't have to make it so that his fingers unattach. But he did it um because he felt it would be more effective, and I guess it's like a nen restriction, so to make the bullets more stronger. And we'll see more of that nen restrictions later on in this volume. But yeah, it's cool. Urogen, like a badass meathead type enhancer. He has really powerful punches. But that's not all he does, because he also has a very powerful roar. So this group of like shadow beasts, one guy like goes underground like a fucking ditto. One puts parasites in you. One's like a pincushion. And they actually have a good plan to take down Uvogin. It's just they didn't like count on him having like a very strong roar. um, uh, yeah, he's just a bit stronger than they expected. Like he used fucking a piece of the skull of one of the guys he bit, and then used it as a bullet to defeat another shadow beast. That's crazy. And then his roar just like killed the pincushion guy. Uh, what's up with this guy though? Um, this fucking twink phantom trope member. Like what do you do? I forget what he does. Does he do it? What was his powers? What does he do again? Does he aura farm? I don't know. I don't know what he. I forget his name. Maybe we'll see. Later. I don't know. But Copper goes like, I'm going in. Let's go. Melody. Comes in clutch though with a song that soothes everyone. But he still goes in. And yeah, he goes. It captures him with chains. They're able to track him down a bit with Shizuku's threads. That's good. Although there's like so much strategy going on here. Harper goes on about like his vow that you know he has a contract with his Nen, that if he uses chain jail on a non-spider, then he would die. Um, so that greatly enhances the power of chain jail, which means he can use it on spiders, or he can actually use it to capture the spiders. So otherwise, they'd be able to break it out. Well, I guess otherwise Uvogin at least would be able to break it out. I don't know if like a weaker chain jail could be able to capture like Shizuku or the rest of them, or Shizune or whatever. I don't know, whatever the fucking names are. um, but yeah, but later on, we had the flashbacks to Kurapika learning about his Nen, learning about Nen with his trainer that goes into more detail, but basically the principle is kind of the same as what Kurapika talks about in the car. Like, in order to accomplish his methods, he kind of has to make this vow um to increase the strength of his name. Fucking phone. Okay, back. What was I talking about? Well, the rest of the Shadow Beasts show up. Uh, and they're like, wait, aren't there 10? But where's the guy in the car, a Shadow Beast? So like, what's going on? Yeah, we don't see much about the rest of those Shadow Beasts because I don't know, they deal with them. Um, uh, yeah, Uvogin was like, hey, we didn't actually steal the stuff. Uh, and then and they Kurapika meets up with Hisoka as like agreed in like the exam. When the exam arc, he was like, let's work together, guy. Uh, because I want to fight Crollo alone, but it's difficult because he's always with at least two other members. And he leaves without a trace. And I know the abilities of seven other members. So why don't we work together? Ooh. The Kurapika's like, I'll answer you later. um, and the rest of the Phantom Trope, they like disguise themselves as Mafia. Um, and then save Uvogin, and then Vogan's like, I want to go fight settle the score with the chain guy. Let me do this alone. Um, and then Kurapika kind of like becomes the de facto leader of the group because the other guy uh died or was killed by Uvogin. And he does some smart strategy maneuvering stuff or whatever. Then we go to Gon, Killua, and Leorio. I thought it was funny because you know, Leorio was like, "Hey, I know Nen now," but he only like learned 10. Um, or was it 10? Or it was he only learned like the first step. Where was it? Um, I know at some point. Yeah, he only learned 10. It's like, oh, there's more. There's more to Nen than 10. Okay, that's funny. That explains why I don't remember him doing much Nen stuff this arc. But he's still enough for him to win at arm wrestling, which is what they do, and that leads them, you know, gets them an invite to like this underground thing where they ask people to hunt down the Phantom Trope because it's like a sign of like weakness from the mafia. It's like it's like they call it a contest, but it's like bounty hunting. That's cool. So this is how God and Killua and them get wrapped up in the Phantom Trope stuff. They want money. Yes, let's go money. And then we start Kurapika versus Uvogin. Which unfortunately, we don't doesn't finish this volume. But yeah, Kurapika's like, "Hey, do you remember the guys you killed?" And it's like, "Nope." Logan doesn't. He's just that much of a killer. Um, but yeah, it was 5 years ago. You can't expect someone to remember something 5 years ago. What? You can't do that, or even like 5 seconds, a moment ago. Um, uh, yeah, Logan starts battling the chain guy. Kurapika. um, I don't know what voodoo he used. Why is it to say voodoo? You just say Nen. You know it's Nen. It's everything's Nen. Um yeah, the biggest, you know, bit of deception Kurapika uses here was making Uvogin think that he was a manipulator, that he was manipulating real chains. When he's actually a conjurer, he he makes the chains. He was Sakurapiko always had his chains conjured in order to make them think that the chains were real. So that's when he made them invisible with Nen, they came back. Yeah, you always had it conjured to make it seem like actual change. Yep, he got duped. But also he displays some abilities that he shouldn't really be able to. Um, like enhancer abilities, to like take some of his punches. But oh, you can't use manipulator abilities like that great, or enhancer and manipulator abilities that great. Um, how are you doing it? And it turns out that he has another ability. Well, he becomes a specialist only when his eyes turns. Um, and when he sees the scarlet eyes, that jogs his memory. Um, and he's like, "Oh, Crow liking his eyes. That was a major task. They were powerful. It's like bring it on, and he can't escape the chains." Um, yeah, his specialist, he kind of gets a specialist ability. Um, and it allows him to utilize 100% of all net types of Nen. Emperor, time, absolute mastery. I think this takes a toll on his life, although we won't see it until next time. Damn it. Um, but yeah, this is going in an interesting direction. Krill hasn't done his Orchestra of Death. There's still a lot of stuff going on that's going to be going on with his arc. So Pagnota has a good role to play going forward, and then there's Crollo versus Silva and well, Killua's father and grandfather. Actually, Krillo says this volume that his father once killed a Phantom Troupe member, Spider, but he said that it wasn't worth the money, which, according to Krillo, is the highest praise he can give an opponent. So that, and then he told Killua, "Don't mess with the spiders." So thinking of it, that must mean that he got a lot of money to come in uh to York New again. So oh my god. Okay, I just stopped talking. My nerves was going crazy. Bye. I'll give a good one. Bye.